Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today my topic is how to use fertilizers and what are the different types of fertilizers and how we fertilize the plant. But before starting the session, let me tell you one very clear thing, that I'm not propagating or I'm not doing any commercial advertisement for any kind of product. I am using what is in the market, and you can also buy whatever you would like, but I'll be giving a little bit information. What are the fertilizers, what does fertilizer mean, and how it is been used and how you can use for your plants. So you can definitely go ahead and buy another type of product which you think your plant can take it, and you have to study a bit for your fertilizer, but this is what fertilizers I'm using. So these are few fertilizers which I'm using, and this is what you get generally in the market, and sometimes even I order it online on Amazon and I use it for my plants. So these are the products. One is my Grow Fast liquid fertilizer, which I'm using in the mostly for general purpose kind of a plant, whether it is foliage or it is flowering. Everything it works very fine for me. And then I have one orchid fertilizer, which I had bought it on Amazon website, and even this is an orchid fertilizer. This also I use it generally for my orchids, phalaenopsis, as well as for my cattleyas or my dendrobium orchids, everything, or vandas. So, and these are some pebbles, and you get different sizes of pebbles, and this is what was available, so I took it and I tried it, and it is working very fine with me. But it is in the packet now. That packet was over, so I have kept it in small box and thrown the box. And this is also a powder formation like this one, which I had bought it, and it was also a Grow Fast fertilizer powder. Depending on the type of fertilizer what you take, the color will vary. So this one I use it for all the foliage plants and flowering plants as well. But with this I have found it, my African violets or my petunias is also very nicely blooming. So little bit my camera would be disturbed because I'm doing with one hand all the work, and I'll be recording with another hand. So please excuse me for the disturbance or the camera getting shaky at times. So this is the liquid fertilizer which I generally use it. Now there are different ways. Some people prefer a weekly basis, some people prefer bi-weekly fertilizing, some people prefer monthly basis. What I generally do is I prefer giving weekly, very little dose, it's very slight, and the maybe I don't know, even if you go bi-weekly, even that will work fine, but the dosage will be little different. So this is, I'm using 1/4 cap in 1 liter of water. So, and I'll be showing you by giving the fertilizer to my plants, couple of plants in front of you, so you will understand. Now fertilizer means your plant needs nutrients. So basically, what are different kind of nutrients? There are other varieties of nutrients which plant might be needing at times, like zinc and magnesium, but generally in this fertilizer what is seen is NPK ratio. So NPK, N stands for nitrogen, P stands for phosphorus, and K stands for potassium. So this is the ratio of your NPK. If you see 12 12 36, what it means N, nitrogen is 12 ratio, and potassium is 12, and phosphorus is 36. So this also includes zinc, iron, magnesium, and copper. So this Grow fertilizer, if you will read, you will understand how it is. But this is the same thing with orchid fertilizer also. You will see the ratio over here. Let me see. See, even the dosage is been mentioned. This is the small bowl. One corner is small and the other is large. So depending on that, it has a spoon. So this is the small bowl and this is the larger bowl. So this you can use. I use is the 1/4 teaspoon. This one, and this is 1 tablespoon, and this is teaspoons, from which I use is 1/4 of this fertilizer, which I'll dilute in 1 liter of water, and I'll use it. It is little bit granular form, not like this in powdery form. This is for the grow fast, and this is the orchid fertilizer. So you will see somewhere on the box the ratio is being mentioned. I'm not able to see it at present, but there is some ratio. Yeah, see here it is 30 10 10. So nitrogen is 30 and phosphorus is 10 and potassium is 10. So as well as on this also there will be a ratio of 5 5 5. So this both works very good for my African violets as well as for my orchids too. So these are few fertilizers which I am using, and for the powders also I am using with this tablespoon, teaspoon side I am using mostly, and it is 1/4 teaspoon in 1 liter of water, which I'll dilute it and then pour it on my plants. So this is what the fertilizer is. Now I prefer weekly basis, very tiny doses, and alhamdulillah I'm getting a very good results. My plants are flowering every time. Every week some or other plant is always in the bloom, and if you see my orchids, see now it started shooting up new. All my orchids are giving new spikes too, if you see. So very soon I'll be seeing the flowers too, and it's very healthy as well, if you see. So there are different types of jars which I am using. This is from IKEA jug, which I use it in. This 1 liter of water comes in, this half liter of water comes, but I'm using this nozzle based bottle for watering my African violets. As you know that African violets leaves are very sensitive for watering. So if any water falls, or especially the fertilized water falls on the leaves, it will damage. All will turn mushy and blackish, and it will fall down very soon. So this is how I use, and I'll take for example, for that one I have the measurement, but for the cap, the bottle one, which I use it the cap, and I use only the 1/4 cap. If it is little bit more, I'll just pour it back, and I'll use exactly 1/4. See, but I use it weekly. Now you can choose to water bi-weekly, but then you take half a cap, and some people take monthly, but I'll not recommend to go more than half a cap, depending on the fertilizer type and the ratio. Otherwise you will see suddenly today you fertilize the plant and tomorrow the plant is dead. So be careful while fertilizing, and it's better to gradually increase the doses what you would like to, and you can take in the 1 liter water 1/4 cap and water your plants like this. Sometimes I'm a bit lazy, so I'll pour the water here itself, but sometimes, majority of the times, I'll take them to the washroom, and I'll give a nice shower to my plants, and then I'll use it. Then in the ending I will use to fertilize the thing. So like this I will pour it on the same place. Sometimes when I'm very busy or lazy sometimes, so I'll pour my water over here itself. Otherwise I'll prefer to take them in the washroom. I'll hose them, and then after that I'll fertilize it. So, and always make it sure when you are watering your plants, your pot should have drainage holes. So when you are showering, all plant water will go away, and then after that you will give the fertilized water. And there are few reasons why I always prefer showering my plants is basically your plant do photosynthesis or make their food by sun rays, and if dust is accumulated, it won't be able to make their food. So it is really dependent on you that you wash or dust the fine particles from the leaves, so that they can breathe and they can make their own food. And secondly, when you shower, basically it increases the humidity level for the plant for some time, maybe 10-15 minutes, and that also helps your plant to grow very nicely. And basically you are trying to give them the forest or rainforest kind of feel in your home. So at times giving them shower is very good for their plants health, and it also tend to basically remove your pest from the plant, and it will not attract, because it will not attract the extra pest on your plant, because they don't like wet things. So when you are continuously showering your plant, it will help pests to stay away from your plants. Otherwise, generally due to the soil, you will get either mostly mealybugs and scales, or maybe sometime aphids. So if in case I get an opportunity to tell you how pests are generated and how to troubleshoot them, I'll definitely teach that also. So this is how I will be fertilizing my liquid fertilizer. In the same manner, solid fertilizer, these are slow released fertilizer. So what you do is I'll put these pebbles into this is bigger size, so I'll put one only in one pot, depending on the size of the pot. If your size of the pot is very big, then maybe 2 is enough, and if there are very tiny pebbles, then you can keep 4 to 5 in one pot. So what does it mean by slow release is, when you are watering your plant, these pebbles will release some fertilizer, not the whole thing will be diluted. So it will release slowly. So some people, they are okay with slow release fertilizer, and they don't want to fertilize, just water is more than enough. So that time they use slow release fertilizers. These pebbles are slow release. But whereas this powder form of fertilizer, I'll use 1/4 cap in 1 liter of water and dilute it, stir it very nicely, let it get dissolved, and then pour it in your plants, the same way what we did it by using direct liquid fertilizer. But this has little bit different ratio. This one is 20-20-20. So this one is good for my African violets too. So I use depending on my choice and my mood, and sometimes I feel the foliage is less, so I will give them this one, and if I want to increase the flowering, then I'll use this one. So it depends what you want to use. And for basically for phalaenopsis, see, other orchids are very easy to water, you just pour it like other plants, it is okay. But with phalaenopsis orchid, you have to water the plant from beneath. Means you will pour the water till this much, and only very 2 or 3 drops of liquid fertilizer of the orchid you will put it in the water, stir it, and then put your plant with this in your pot itself, and let it get soaked for 10-15 minutes. And after 10-15 minutes, just remove the pot and drain the whole water and throw this water, and make it sure you are not giving the same water to your other phalaenopsis orchid, because certain diseases or infection, it might pass to another plant. So it is always recommended for one plant you are using the water, but not the same water can go to another phalaenopsis orchid. So always use and throw the water, and then you can put another water with little few drops of liquid fertilizer, and you can put another your phalaenopsis orchid. This is how I water my phalaenopsis orchid. And I'll just take a sponge and I'll clean the foliage of it, and never clean from the beneath because it has tiny pores, and it is if you will clean by the sponge, it will close down. So always clean your phalaenopsis orchid foliage by the sponge from the front side, not from the back side. So I'll keep the different video for how to take care of your orchids. And now regarding my African violets too, mostly I prefer wicked thread in my pot, and I pour my water in this in the bottle, and then it takes this wicked thread will take water to the plant. But sometimes still you will find little bit drier your pot. So I use this nozzle bottle for watering my plants, and I'll put in that also, I'll put 1/4 cap of 1/4 or maybe less than 1/4, because this is my half liter water, or less than half liter. So I'll then pour it like this, because African violet foliage doesn't like water. If you will little bit also it falls, remove it by the tissue paper or something, and like this you can clean your leaves. And sometimes I wash my African violets, but make it sure that I'm keeping in balcony or somewhere where the fast water is evaporated. So this is how I fertilize my African violets too. So that's it. If you have more queries or something, you can definitely call me or write me on the message. I would definitely like to clarify more if anybody has any queries left. But so far I have included all the points which is necessary to you people to understand. So inshallah, see you in the next session, and let me know which other video you would like to look ahead, so that it will be easier for me to take the topic, inshallah. So jazakallah khairan for being patient with me, and see you soon.